At Kubota, value means getting more than you expected for less than you thought. Right now through July 31st, our greatest value is the L2501 DT compact tractor with one of the highest quality compact tractor frames on the market. Ask your local dealer about Kubota's big value compact tractor for as low as $199.99 per month with 0% APR financing for 60 months, now until July 31st, 2015. That's value. That's Kubota.
Freeman's Lawn and Garden. Call us at 272-2198.
We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, back out to West Lawrence High School, where we caught up with head coach Stacy Nobles, and it gets closer and closer, doesn't it, Stacy? More and more exciting.
Yeah, we're jacked up. I mean, it's first day of school. I mean, the summers flew by. I mean, it's hard to believe that seems like we were just wrapping up against St. Pius back around Thanksgiving. So I mean, it was. Well,
that's a good thing.
It is. It is. You know, you want to play long in the season, and you know, we have high aspirations to do that again this year. But you know, it's. This is a fun time of year, especially as a football coach. Coming off the year we had, the momentum sky high. The kids are excited. You know, and we're right where we need to be right now. You know, we got a long ways to go. A lot of questions to get answered, but it's getting close, man. We're less than 2 weeks away from hitting somebody in another team, so we're excited.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about the workouts, about what you've been doing. Of course, you've been really on technique. You've been trying to get them into shape first of all. And this summertime weather is a good time to do it. But of course, with helmets on and a lot of running, a lot of, I guess, walking through your plays and trying to make sure that offensive linemen, defensive linemen, especially offensive linemen, taking that right first step so that you're able to be successful. I'm sure that's a lot of what's been going on.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for us coming in, you know, we had a tremendous off season in the weight room. The kids worked extremely hard. Strength level was great. Won another state championship in powerlifting. And, you know, rolling right into spring, you know, and then in June, we really try to get the kids acclimated to the heat, get them used to, you know, get them back in shape, and gain some strength during the summer and condition them. You know, last year we went into the season, we had a couple of key guys that were injured during the summer and wasn't able to do a lot of things. And that really, it takes weeks to get yourself into shape if you miss that time in the summer. But, I mean, our summer workouts this summer were tremendous. You know, we had 18 workout opportunities in our 5 helmet days, and we had, I think, 77 kids that met the requirements to be in Minnesota, which is outstanding. We've never had close to that many before. I think last year we had 58. So we had 77 kids that made it, and we had a lot of kids that didn't miss a workout all summer. I mean, which is just it just shows their dedication to it and how much, you know, we preach if you're not here, you know, you can't do what you need to do. And our kids know that if they don't practice and lift, they don't play. And you know, although what the exciting part is about the summer's voluntary, but the kids know. You know, they voluntarily mandatory. They need to be here. They know that. If they want to play, they got to be here.
Yeah, if they want to get better.
To get in shape, because and it's all part of the process. But the summer's been outstanding. I mean, I've been tickled to death with the kids. We made it through the summer healthy. Praise the Lord. I mean, that's a bit. Like I said, Darius missed 6 weeks last summer with a hamstring injury, and it really cost him at the beginning of the year. But, you know, just getting the kids acclimated to this heat. It's been hot all summer. You know, normally we have some breaks in there, but, I mean, we didn't get a lull at all this summer. So the kids should be acclimated to the heat. And, you know, we're already in pads now, less than 2 weeks away from scrimmaging.
Hopefully that's going to take a lot away from those cramps that we saw
last
I mean,
year. It definitely will. Like I said, Darius was trying to, you know, as hard as he runs, I mean, you miss that type of conditioning and not be able to do anything. It's hard to
do that every
you know, make that up. So, but we feel like the kids will be in shape. We worked the stew out of them in the summer, and they, you know, they've responded well to it. Like I said, and they've been here. That's the biggest thing. We can have all the workouts you want, but if kids don't show up, it doesn't matter. But with us having that many making it and doing what they were required and expected to do, you know, we're really excited about it, and you know, it comes from the kids being excited about the program and about the chance to play football here at West Lawrence.
And I'm glad they are, Coach, and I know you are. But let's talk about a little bit about, you know, what I hear throughout the community from other coaches and from people. You know, you got over 100 kids. How you coach 100 kids?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of that takes care of itself. I mean, we're fortunate enough to get 2 more coaches out there with us this year, and you know. people are going to say this and that, but you know, I'm not. I'm excited. If a kid is willing to do what we ask them to do in this weight room and make it through, they deserve to be out there.
That's right.
And people can say what they want. They have no idea until they step in here and do. You know, we you know, from playing Division I college football and just seeing how we do things here, we work them as hard in here as I've ever seen. You know, and that's a tribute to our kids and how they've responded to it. So, you know, the numbers are great. We ended the year with 85 last year. You know, we're at 106 right now. You know, a lot of those are young guys, and they're paying their dues. You know, and that's the part of it. They're going to get coached up. They've been coached up this summer. You know, these young kids are. You know, they're learning, and a lot of them have to learn on the fly.
Yeah.
And you know, but you know, our job is to make sure that when they get the chance to and get the opportunity to step on the field, they're ready to go. I got a great group of coaches that work extremely hard, and you know, I would have thought the heat and all and the workouts would have weeded a few more out this summer, but a lot of the kids, you know, and we did. We had about 115, but so we've lost a few. Yeah. But you know, we're right now, and we'll probably still drop off a few more here and there. But you know, we're right around 100 kids, and for a quad A school, that's you know, 25 per class. That's, you know, what it averages out to, and that's a tribute to our kids because they pay the price. They deserve to be here. So we're gonna coach them up, and make sure they're ready.
And I'll tell you, a lot of other schools around would love to have that kind of numbers, that percentages, there's no doubt. Okay, so, you know, you're going into pads. Of course, Friday night you did something a little bit differently after open house. Tell everybody about that.
We did, you know, with the first day of full pads falling on a Saturday this year. You know, normally doesn't do that. But when the first falls on a Saturday, when I was over with Coach Bars in Blakeley County, we did a Midnight Madness when it fell on a weekend. And, you know, the kids had already you know, we don't get to do the old-fashioned camps anymore where the kids have 2 a day because we can't do 3 a days anymore. You know, so we don't get that opportunity. And the kids were wanting to do something. They had already talked to me about, you know, having some type of lock-in or something like that. And, you know, just thought about it, and it worked out really well. You know, the kids were excited. So we came in Friday afternoon and did our last helmet practice for about an hour and a half there. We fed them a nice meal. We had a lot of local businesses donated a lot of great food for us, and we were very appreciative for that. And we had a good meal. We had a lot of good fellowship. Kids got to, you know, spend some time together. We come back in after the helmet practice, and we did a little meeting. We watched a movie. We had a nice snack for the kids, again, donated by our parents. And, you know, and then we were able to go back out at 12:01. Which is the first legal time we could go in full pads, and we got after it for about an hour and a half, and man, the kids were. It was an electric atmosphere for being that late at night. We had a good crowd out watching, and you know, it was fun to see, and we got a lot of good work in. Got a lot of good video of the kids in pads. Kids were running around, swarming on defense, hitting folks. A lot of big licks out there for the first time in pads since May, and then the offense looked really well. We're clicking in a lot of spots. The offensive line, feel like we're light years ahead of where we were this time of year last year with the offensive line as far as assignments and getting after it. So, and we came out of there healthy. So. You know, it was exciting. The kids loved it. It was a little harder on us older coaches. It wears on us a little more. I didn't get home Friday night till about 4:30. Wow. So I mean, it was, but it was fun, man. It's all about the kids. And,
that's right.
And you know, doing something different. Anytime you can do anything to get them excited about what you're doing. You know, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
And probably with pads now, you know, you're going to have a few kids who want to play football, want to wear that jersey, want to be a part of a winning team that maybe don't want to get hit quite that hard. So
yeah, I mean,
that's going to happen. That's just part of football.
It does it
but
every year.
You pass some great licks. You know, kids really got after it. You got to be proud of, especially of your defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've talked all along. You know, we were at this time last year. You know, we had 2 starters coming back defensively. We had a lot of young sophomores out there that are now juniors and another year experienced, and we got a great core. Coming back on that side of the ball, we got 8 kids that started games for us. We got 6 full-time starters back on that side of the ball. You know, our safeties are both seniors. They're proven. They've you know, they played for us last year as juniors, and then we got Jarrett Henry in there at linebacker, and then our 3 defensive linemen. All those guys are back, and then you got Austin Ramsey on the outside and Nathaniel Allen, who both started multiple games for us last year because of injuries. So we got a lot of experience on that side of the ball, and we're completely. It's a completely different year as far as that goes because last year against Dodge, you know, just watching the film against Dodge and the scrimmage last year and preparing for that, we were just, you know, by the end, it was neat to see how those kids grew up during the season and finished the year playing really well as a unit. And we got a lot of those guys back and they're healthy, and that's exciting. Anytime you go into a season with an experienced defense, that makes the coach feel a lot better because, if you can keep people from scoring points and make it tough on them to score points,
Sure.
You got a chance. Championships are won by defense. They say it all the time. That's not just a cliche. It's the truth.
Yeah.
If you play good, solid defense, you're going to win more than you lose.
Come try this year's competition-winning ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. Thick, meaty ribs we hand-season, sauce, and smoke for hours. Served with 2 sides and bread, just $13.99 for a limited time. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
All right, let's talk about that size again. I know you pointed it out before, but let's remind everybody what kind of weights we have on that defensive line.
Well, we got those 3 guys that started for us last year. Shundrika Smith starts at one of the tackles. He's a junior. He's 6'2", 280 pounds. Runs really well, big kid, athletic. You got Trey Mason in there at the nose guard. Trey's going to be a senior. Trey is about 6 foot, about 210 pounds. He would play linebacker for most folks, but he is so athletic. He gives people a fit for us. He's so good on the defensive line, we just can't back him out of there. But at his size, he runs a 4.7 40. Him and Shundrika is both power clean over 320 pounds. So I mean, they're some phenomenal players there, and their work ethic's tremendous. So then we got Mateo Elvine, who's going to start at the other defensive tackle. He started for us last year. He'll be a junior. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. Really, he doesn't have the strength levels that Shundrikas and Trey do. But man, when he hits you, we were talking about that the other night at practice. He hit a couple people the other night, and it's just he knows how to run those hips, and he's got just tremendous explosion and power when he hits. And so expecting big things out of that group. And then we got Ladarius Williams who'll fill in some there. He's another big kid, going to be a junior, 6'3", 240 pounds. So we got some size. A lot of these young kids now are growing up in the big kid. We were a little undersized last year, but we feel good about our size. Coming on both sides.
The depth?
The depth is good in places. I mean, we're just like anybody else. You lose. You got to stay healthy in this game.
Right.
This is not college where you got 4 or 5 all-state players backing each other up. I mean, we got a handful of kids that that we can put in different spots and be okay. But if we lose a few key people, it'd be just like anybody else. Sure. That could be detrimental. So, we're praying and praying for these kids. Hopefully they can, we got them in as best condition we feel like we can get them in, and we're just praying that they stay safe. This is a rough game. We, like last year, by the 4th game of the year, we were down 6 starters against Westside, but it got a lot of the young kids' experience, which will help us this year. And we got depth-wise in spots we feel really good about it, and others we're a little thin, but we're thin in the linebacker core. We got some good players there, but the depth is an issue there for us at linebacker. Feel good about the defensive line depth. We got some bodies there, and we feel good about our offensive line depth. So we feel good, line-wise as far as the depth goes.
Right. And maybe somebody will evolve.
Oh, yeah, they will. Every year. I mean, like last year, a lot of those sophomores got through into the spotlight and were starting games for us in the region play. Andrew Dukes got thrown in as a freshman and kicker and punter.
Right.
Part of region play because of injuries, and they step up and respond. And the biggest thing for us, these kids now, they're winners. They expect to win.
Yeah.
And you can't replace that. And that's what we've been battling here to get these kids to believe they can compete and go out there and do great things. And that's the majority of the battle now. It's just a matter of, these kids, they'll be ready when they get thrown into that spotlight.
Yeah. And offensively now, it makes a big difference. You put the pads on, you start trying to throw the ball, handing off. It looked like the connection was pretty good on running the ball, very good.
Yeah, I mean, I was, like I said, for the first pad practice, I was extremely pleased. We didn't have many busted assignments. The linemen knew where to go. That was one of the biggest issues from last year that we really struggled with, especially early on.
Yeah.
A lot of bust against Dodge County last year, and I didn't see a lot of that the other night. We didn't have any handoff issues. We took care of the ball well. We threw the ball well, caught it. We had a couple of drops, but not many. Brandon Stuckey's going to be a kid y'all going to hear a lot about this year. He's a phenomenal player for us. He's going to play on both sides of the ball. He's looked really good catching the football. He had a couple of great catches the other night. Bill Leroy's been out there catching the ball. He's had, he's running great routes, and he's going to play a lot for us at receiver this year.
Awesome.
And then our running backs are the key for us.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody knows Darius and Greg. We got Isaiah Mormon, who's going to be a junior. Isaiah's 5'10", 185 pounds. That would start for a lot of folks, and he's going to be a huge part of our offense this year. So we got a three-headed monster back there, and we got some other young kids behind them that can tote the load as well. So we got some depth at running back. Receivers, the big key for us right now. Somebody stepping up and leading that group and being consistent with their hands. Jalen's really good throwing the ball, and Jalen will be our starter right now at quarterback. He's throwing the ball well. Austin Ramsey, who starts for us on defense, we'll back him up. And we just we feel good about where we're at right now. Again, we got a lot of questions to be answered. When you get in the fire, things are a lot different. But the biggest thing for us is to be able to run the football, and we feel good about that with our running backs, and our offensive line is really blocking well. So we feel like we're ahead of the game compared to this time last year. Of course, we had Jarrell coming back experience-wise, but the best thing for an inexperienced quarterback is a good defense and a solid running game, and we feel good in those two spots.
Right. Should feel very well. And you mentioned Dodge earlier. Even though it doesn't count, so to speak, you want to start out on a good foot. Now, Dodge had an okay year last year. They made it into the first round. They've struggled for years past, like many teams have, but they have a lot of size, no doubt about that. So, that's going to be one thing. Obviously, our offensive line will be able to be tested because of the size of the linemen.
Yeah, Dodge had a very, for a while there last year, they were undefeated. I think they went 7 or 8-0 before they finally got beat. They actually made it to the second round of the playoffs. They went to Westside and beat Westside. They were the 3 seed. And they beat Westside, the 2 seed, in the first round of playoffs, and then lost to Jefferson, who ended up going deep in the playoffs. So Coach Hodges and his staff, they do a great job with those kids. They're going to be hard-nosed. There's no secrets about what they're going to do. They're going to come right at you. They run a lot of the midline, the option type stuff. So we got to make sure where we're at. We didn't give them, looking at that film from last year, we feel like defensively we'll be a lot more prepared and just used to the game. I mean, it was hard to go against a team like Dodge. Dodge was loaded with talent last year, and to start off with them with a young defensive group was really tough. But we feel like we'll be able to, we got a year in our belt now with a lot of those guys. We'll be able to compete, and it'll be a great test for us. I'm sure we'll do it exactly like I hadn't talked to Coach Hodges about the format yet, but last year we played 3 full quarters. Special teams were not live. And then that fourth quarter, we get all the young kids in there and let them play, and let them get some experience on Friday night under the lights. And I'm sure we'll go with that same type of format again. Again, when you get finished with it, you're 0-0. But yeah, I mean, of course, you want to come out and start off on a positive note, right? Because both of us, us and Dodge, we roll right into week 1 contest the very next Friday, right? And it's a big one for us in Thomasville, and then Dodge has got one of their hated rivals in Bleckley. So it'll be a good test for both of us, and I'm chomping at the bit. I'm ready to go and get it started.
And a good thing we have it at here at the Shoe. So
Absolutely.
we want to invite everyone out.
Yeah, I mean our schedule sets up awesome this year. As far as the travel, we go to Perry twice, and we go to Macon twice. That's as far as we go. We go to Bleckley County. Last year we had that trip down to Thomasville. That got a lot of us. That was a tough trip, and I'm very thankful that they got to make that haul this year. So we got the first 3 at home. We had tremendous. The support last year from the Raider Nation was just awesome, and I thank God for that. And I hope everybody will get on board from early on this year, and let's get that excitement and that level of intensity in the Shoe every Friday night and on the road, because I mean it truly helps you as a coach and as a player to have that support. I never will forget the scene at St. Pius last year when we had more fans than they did at their place, and it was just an awesome experience for us as a coaching staff and our kids. And the community, these kids deserve it. These kids work their rear ends off, and we want to get out there and support them every Friday night. So we're looking forward for a big crowd, praying for great weather, and hopefully everybody can come out and get behind those Raiders from the get-go.
Right, and that'll be on the 14th. And what time will it still?
14th. It'll start at 7:30.
7:30.
It'll start at 7:30. All our varsity games will be at 7:30 this year on Friday nights. We had that one 8 o'clock kickoff last year with Thomasville, but we'll be back to 7:30 every game on Fridays. So, just excited, thanking God again for another opportunity to be here. And I mean, this is it's an exciting time here at West Lawrence, and just give God all the praise and honor and glory for making it through another year.
Yeah. All right, Coach, and want to remind everybody, be a part of the Raider Nation. You can be part of the Booster Club. Get in touch with the Booster Club. We have the information at the bottom of the screen, how you can do it online. Get in touch with them, support the Raiders, and plan on being out on the 14th. A lot of schools will be playing around, but this is where a lot's going to be happening, and you're going to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate you.